Hi, I'm Emma Spitzer and I'm going to be making some courgettes with barberries and pine nuts and mango powder, which is a really delicious spice, and that's going to be on a bed of labneh. So the first step is literally cut the courgette down the middle like that, and then we just want to slice them into half moons, about that thick, about just under half a centimetre thick. The thinner you cut them, the less time they'll take to cook. There's no real hard and fast rules. This is a very simple dish. As long as the labneh's been prepared in advance, this will take less than 15 minutes to get onto the table. These are quite large courgettes, so I'm only going to use this amount. This is really served as a sort of an accompaniment, so it's sort of like a meze dish in the middle of the table. It's lovely for vegetarians and it works with absolutely anything. So that's the courgettes, and then we want to dice our onion. I always keep the root on the onion so that when you dice it, it all stays together. And I will show you my little tip. So root on, don't slice all the way through the root. And then we go in like that to the end. And then when we dice it, it all stays together. Oh, and goes flying off the board. Oh, that root's come off, but it's fine as long as we don't cut all the way through it. So down like that, right to the end. Take that horrible little bit off there. Slice through that way, watch your fingers. And that's how to easily dice an onion. Right, so then we're going to heat up the pan. So get the pan on a medium flame, and you want about 2 to 3 tablespoons worth of olive oil. And then we want to just get that hot, a little bit hot, not smoking, because we don't want to burn the onions and the courgettes. We want to actually cook the courgettes, but we do want to get some nice colour, and it's going to be helped by our mango powder. So we just get the oil to heat up a little bit. I'm using quite a large pan because I've got quite a large amount here. So now we're going to throw in the courgettes and the onions. And I'll put the onions off. Let's go in the pans. Those a little stir around. Now you can fry the onion gently first to start with. However, you want to cook the courgettes for at least sort of 10 minutes if possible. So I now like to try and sort of fry the onion together with the courgette so that the onion doesn't brown too much before the courgettes have got some nice colour on them. So just give them a little stir. Don't add any salt at this stage because we don't want to bring all the water out of the onion. So we'll leave the salt off, but now we're going to add in, and this is the mango powder, which is just a beautiful yellow colour. And I'm going to start by adding maybe a teaspoon's worth, and then we'll try it. So it's called something different depending on where you buy it. So if you go to an Indian supermarket or the Indian section of a supermarket, you'll see it as amchur powder, which is the Indian name for it. In Israel, it's amba-spiced, but it's got a few names, and somewhere it's just mango powder. Okay. So it just depends where you go really to buy it. But if you are fortunate enough to have a Turkish or a Middle Eastern deli nearby, you'll absolutely find it. And if not, an Indian supermarket. And then there's always online as well. We can get just about every spice online. You can see that that spice has added a colour to it, and there's a lovely aroma coming off, which unfortunately those watching the video can't smell, but it's a lovely colour. It's almost like saffron. It's sort of turning everything a mild yellow. Give that a little stir, and because I've got quite a lot of courgette, I'm actually going to add a little bit more of the powder, so I'll go in with another teaspoon. We'll season this up right at the end. You can see they're starting to get a bit of colour. The onion's starting to go translucent. And I'm turning the heat up now that we've got it to cooking process. So once they're a bit softened, we now want to just go for colour. And then turn the heat right up. You can sort of fry the onion first, but if you are prone to burning things, it's best to try and just do it all together. And that way you're constantly stirring. While these are cooking, I'd like to show you the labneh. And the labneh I made yesterday. So what I did is I added some natural yogurt to a muslin or cheesecloth, or you can add it to a J cloth. Tie it up, and we've strained all the liquid out of the yogurt, and we've now got the cheese. So it's quite sort of, so it just goes in the fridge. So I drained it off slightly outside of the fridge to get all the I mean, that's not even half of the liquid that came off, because I've been draining it. I've sort of emptied it a couple of times. And that is labneh, and that's just had a little bit of salt over it. And that was it.
Wow,
so
pretty simple.
So now it's really starting to get some colour. You can see. Got the heat right up. We want to get a little bit of a burnished look on the courgette. Well, you're going to see how easy this is. It's really quite hard to mess this up. So at this stage now, I'm going to add in some pine nuts. And you could toast those again first. I'm just making this as simple as possible by doing all the processes together. Just frying everything around. Now at this stage, because everything is pretty much almost cooked, I'm going to add a little bit of salt, probably about half a teaspoon's worth. Just crush it a little bit in your hand. Now there is salt in the mango powder, the amba-spiced, so we don't want to go too crazy. Give that a little stir. And then we'll just add a little bit of pepper. I usually add pepper towards the end because pepper, like any spice, it can burn. So actually it's better to add your pepper sort of quite near towards the end after the cooking process. There we go, and I think that this is pretty much ready. Right, so we're going to switch that off. That's done. Now, we're going to plate up. You want to add a little bit of lemon juice to the labneh, just to thin it down a little bit. And actually, it's quite nice to add a little bit of lemon juice as well to the courgettes. But at this stage, we just want to try one and just check the seasoning. That's good. I'm just going to add a tiny little touch of lemon, just a little bit. There we go. And then just give that a stir in. Lovely. So now we're going to take our labneh and then just add it to the bowl. Take a spoon, you can see how lovely and thick it is. Now you could just literally sprinkle on some za'atar or sprinkle on some cumin or paprika or whatever you want. A little bit of olive oil and that's done, that's it. And that's pretty much how they serve it in Israel. But I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice just to thin it down a little bit. And give that a stir. This is quite a zingy vegetable dish, so I like a little bit of tang in it, and the barberries are going to give it a really nice tang as well. So that's it. We can spread on spread out the labneh. There we go, and then for some colour and some really nice sort of tangy sharpness, these barberries came from Iran. Sprinkle over some barberries. And that's it.